Hello everyone. In the last video, we have discussed about definitions of the computer, block diagram of the computer, generations of the computer, and types of the computers. Here in this video, again we are going to discuss about one more basic concepts related to computer fundamentals, that is input and output devices. Here, these are the related to hardware devices. Input devices are the hardware devices used to enter data or instructions into the computer. Suppose if you want to enter something into the computer system, in that position, we are using the input devices. Means computer will take the data from the user through the input devices. For that purpose, we are using the many number of input devices. For example, we are having the keyboard, mouse, scanner, microphone, webcam, joystick, like we are having the many number of input devices. Suppose if you want to enter the text value or if you want to enter commands into the computer system, in that position, we can use one device, that's a keyboard here. If you want to select a particular object within the screen, or if you want to drag any object from one place to another place, in that position, we can use one more device, that is a mouse. And if you want to convert your hard copy into the digital format, in that position, we can implement or we can use, that is a scanner device. If you want to input the voice command or sound into the computer system, in that position, we can use the microphone. Suppose if you want to provide the image or video formats of the data into the computer system, in that position, we can use a webcam. Or if you want to play some games within the computer system, or for the simulation purpose, we are using the one more input device, that is a joystick. One more is that's a light pen. Suppose if you want to draw directly on the particular computer screen, in that position, we can use light pen. Suppose if you want to read barcodes which is related to products. For example, the shopping mart, we are having the some products. Based on that product, we are having some barcodes here. To read those data, in that position, we are using the barcode reader. And one more is OCR, optical character reader. If you want to convert printed text into the editable text here. Suppose if you are having the hard copy, if it is that printed copy, then you can convert that editable format here. In that position, we can use the one more input device, that's a OCR. And OMR, optical mark reader, to read the OMR sheet data, that is selected object within the OMR sheet. In that position, to read those data, we are using the optical mark reader. One more is MICR, that's a magnetic ink character recognition. Especially these devices are used in the banking sector to read the ink characters which is present in the check. To read the check details, we are having the one device MICR. And one more is touchscreen. If you want to operate your machine through the screen touch, like our smartphone, it is also one considered as a one input device here. That particular screen is nothing but one input device. And one more is a biometric scanner to read the fingerprint, or if you want to scan a whole face, there's a iris pattern. In that position, if you want to read those biometric informations, in that position, we can implement or we can use biometric scanner here. And other part, output devices. Output devices are hardware devices used to display or produce the processed informations. Means input devices for the purpose of entering the data. Output devices to display or produce the processed informations. Computer will take the data, then process it, then produce the result. To provide those result or information, we are using the some hardware devices. Those are the input devices. These are the output devices. One is monitor to display the content into the user in the form of text, images, videos, or graphics. In that position, we can use that is the one hardware device. That's the output device. Here it is a monitor. Second one is a printer. Suppose if you want to generate from the soft copy into the hard copy, if you want to produce the hard copies of the documents, in that situation, we can use that printer machine. And one more is a speaker to generate the sound formats of the data. To produce the sound output in that position, we can use the speakers. And one more is a projector, display computer output on large screens. The larger size, if you want to display something into the user for the computer, in that position, we can utilize that projector. And one more is a plotter to print the large engineering and architectural drawings. If you want to print in the larger formats of the data, in that position, we can use that's the plotters to print the banners or to print the engineering drawings. In that position, you can use the plotters. One more is a headphone. Again, provides the personal audio output. Again, in the form of audio, as a sound. If you want to produce that information from the computer system, in that position, we can use the headphones. Here, based on these computer fundamentals, currently I'm going to discuss there's a multiple choice questions which is related to Karnataka residential schools exam pattern. In that exam, we are having the objective type questions. Based on that, I'm providing the some questions. One is a computer is a we're having some options: mechanical device, electronic programmable device, electrical machine, and optical device. Here, correct answer is there is a option B, electronic and programmable device. And second question is, which of the following is the brain of the computer? Option A, RAM, B, hard disk, C, CPU, D, monitor. Here correct answer is that is a CPU, central processing unit is considered as a brain of the computer, then option C. Next, third one is the basic operation cycle of a computer. Computer will take the data from the user through the input devices, then process it and produce the output. That's the correct answer is option B. Input to processing, then output. Next, fourth one is which generation of computers used vacuum tubes? In the first generations of the computer, they are used vacuum tubes. Correct answer is that is the first generations of the computer. Which technology was introduced in the second generation? Here, in the second generations, they are used transistors to build those machines. That technology is option C, transistors. Next one is integrated circuits. ICs were used in the third generations of the computer. IC chips were introduced in the third generation. Then answer is C. Then seventh one is VLSI technology belongs to fourth generations of the computer. Very large scale integration technology. Correct answer is option C. Sorry, option D. ULSI technology is associated with, that is a ultra large scale integration technology is associated with fifth generations of the computer. Correct answer is, that is the B. Which language was mainly used in first generations of the computer? In the first generation, they are used machine language. Then option B is the correct answer. Then 10th one is artificial intelligence is mainly associated with, that is a fifth generations of the computer. That's a present generation is, that is a fifth generation. Option C is the correct answer. Which component performs arithmetic and logical operations? Here, option B is the correct answer. Arithmetic logical unit. And 12th, the control unit is responsible for controlling all computer operations. Means control unit controls the all other units of the computer. Input device, maybe input unit, output unit, ALU, and memory unit. All these parts will be handled by the control unit. Then correct answer is, that's a C. Registers are high speed memory inside CPU. These are the memory devices for the purpose of high speed in the CPU we are using. Then correct answer is option B, that is the registers. Which memory is volatile memory? Here, volatile memory is correct answer. There is a random access memory. Random access memory. Option C is the correct answer. Which memory is non-volatile? Here, for this particular non-volatile, that is a read-only memory. Option C is the correct answer. Wrong. Which of the following is an input device? Option A, monitor. B, printer. C, keyboard. D, speaker. Out of these, keyboard is the input device. Then correct answer is C. Which device converts paper documents into digital forms? Here, if you want to convert your hard copy into the soft copy, in that position, we are using the scanner. Then option A is the correct answer. Next one is, which input device reads barcodes? To read the barcodes, we are having the barcode reader. Correct answer is option B. OCR stands for optical character reader. Here, optical character reader. Option A is the correct answer. OMR is mainly used to read marked answer sheets. That's a OMR sheet reader. Optical mark reader. Next, MICR. To read the check details in the banking sector, those are the ink. To read the ink values, those are the characters within the check. To read those data, we are having the MICR, which is used in the banking sector. Option B is the correct answer. Which device captures images and videos? Here correct answer is webcam. It will capture the image as well as the videos. Which of the following is an output device? Option A, mouse, keyboard, monitor, and scanner. Here, monitor is the correct answer. Option C. Which output device produces hard copies? Option A, projector. Option B, printer. C, speaker. D, monitor. Hard copy will be generated by the printer. Then option B is the correct answer. Plotters are mainly used for printing engineering drawings. Option B is the correct answer for the plotters. Which output device produces sound? Speaker, scanner, mouse, keyboard. Here option A is the correct answer. That is the speaker, option A. And next one is which computer processes continuous data? To implement the continuous data, we are having the analog computer. Option B is the correct answer. Here it is a analog computer. Which computer processes binary data? That is a digital computer. Here option C is the correct answer. Hybrid computer combines A hybrid computer combines analog and digital data. The data will be implemented in the hybrid computers, analog data as well as the digital data. That's option A is the correct answer. Which is the fastest computer? Option A, microcomputer. Option B, mainframe computer. Option C, supercomputer. Option D, workstation. Here, supercomputer is the fastest computer. Option C is the correct answer. Which computer supports hundreds or thousands of users? Here, laptop, mainframe, tablet, and smartphone. Here, mainframe computers will support to the multiple users. Hundreds of users or thousands of users can use that computer system. Correct answer is option B. Which computer is designed for a single user? For single users, personal computers. Here option C is the correct answer. Personal computer. Which computer is mainly used for engineering and graphics? Option A, workstation. Option B, mainframe, analog, and hybrid. For engineering and graphics, workstation computers will be used. Which computer is commonly used in banks? Option A, that is a mainframe computers. In the banking sector, they are using the mainframe computers. Option A is the correct answer. Then, which is not a characteristic of computer? Accuracy, diligence, intelligence, and speed. Here, option C is considered as intelligence. Computer system does not have intelligence. Nowadays, we are using the artificial intelligence to produce that result based on the artificial intelligence. Again, we need to train those machines, but not independent. Here, correct answer is option C, intelligence. Computers works based on guessing, instructions, emotions, and feelings. Here, correct answer is B. Based on the instructions, our computer will be work. And next one is the full form of a CPU. That is Central Processing Unit. Option A is the correct answer. Central Processing Unit. Which unit accepts data from the user? From the user, input unit will read the data and pass those data into the computer system. Here option B is the correct answer. Input unit. Which unit display the processed information? That's the output unit. The correct answer is option C. The primary function of memory is store data and instructions. Option B is the correct answer. Store data and instructions. Which of the following is primary memory? Here, option A is the hard disk, C SSD, C RAM, D DVD. Primary memory is the random access memory. That's a RAM. Option C is the correct answer. Which of the following is secondary storage? Cache memory, register, hard disk, and RAM. Here option C is the hard disk, which is related to secondary storage device. Which generation introduced microprocessors? Here, in the fourth generations of the computer, they are introduced microprocessors. Correct answer is that is option B. ENIAC belongs to first generations of the computer. In the first generations, they are introduced some systems ENIAC, EDVAC, and UNIVAC. Here correct answer is option A. COBOL was introduced in second generations of the computer. In the second generation, COBOL language was introduced. The correct answer is option B. Which of the following is not an input device? Here, printer is not an input device. It is the output device. The answer is option C. Here, which device is both an input and output device? Touch screen will be acts as an input as well as an output device. Then option A is the correct answer. Which generation introduced artificial intelligence concepts? Here, that is in the present generation introduced artificial intelligence. That is a fifth generation. Option C is the correct answer. Which computer is used for weather forecasting? Here, to read those weather forecasting data, they are using the supercomputers. Here, option B is the correct answer. The smallest unit of data in a computer is that is the byte. Sorry, bit. Option B is the correct answer. Option B is the correct answer. That is the bit. Here, 8 bit is considered as a 1 byte. 1024 bytes is considered as a 1 KB. 1024 KB is considered as a 1 MB. Here, these are the memory measurement units. These are the some examples or possible questions based on the computer fundamentals. Thank you. Keep watching.